Burkina Faso has become the latest African country to sign Donald Trump's controversial health funding deal. This development has sparked curiosity not just because of widespread concern about such deals, but also given that Burkina Faso, under President Ibrahim Traore, has been one of the African countries turning their backs on Western powers in recent years. Under the deal, the US will provide $147 million, while Burkina Faso will contribute $107 million over the next 5 years. Such US funding under Trump's America First global health strategy is reportedly linked to granting Washington access to mineral resources and harvesting personal health data of Africans. It's not immediately clear whether those controversial elements are included in the US-Burkina Faso agreement. However, the US Department of State said the deal is expected to help improve and digitize data reporting and tackle infectious diseases before they spread regionally or reach the United States. Burkina Faso has not yet publicly commented on the deal. Some analysts say the agreement could be a result of recent diplomatic overtures by the Trump administration engaging with countries in the Sahel, in sharp contrast to the approach of the previous US administration. Burkina Faso is one of Africa's top gold producers, in addition to other mineral resources like copper, diamond, and bauxite. Since coming to power in 2022, Traore has vowed to protect his country's resources from unfair exploitation by foreign powers. Meanwhile, the Democratic Republic of Congo, another resource-rich country, has also signed the Trump health deal worth $1.2 billion. According to the U.S. State Department, 18 African countries have accepted the Trump America First packages worth a total of $18 billion. The countries are Botswana, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, Nigeria, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, DRC, and Uganda. However, Zambia and Zimbabwe have turned down the Trump packages, reportedly due to concerns over sharing sensitive health data and access to mineral resources. The Director General of the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Jean Kaseya, has expressed huge concerns over pathogen sharing as part of the deals. The Trump administration, pursuing a transactional foreign policy, has repeatedly said that U.S. foreign funding should not be treated as a charity and that Washington's interest must be top priority.
Diplomatic friend Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, I am pleading to you to accept my invitation at this time. I, Donald Trump, and Americans don't have any negative interest against. You are your citizens in Burkina Faso. I just want us to meet and have a discussion on how to support your country's developments and also to strengthen our diplomatic friendships as countries.
So the United States and Burkina Faso have reached a deal, 5 years worth up to $147 million. This deal is focused on strengthening regional health security by bolstering Burkina Faso's ability to respond and prevent infectious diseases such as malaria and HIV and AIDS. Beyond immediate disease control goals, the pact also signals a recalibration in the region, experiencing shift in alliances, internal instability, and strengthening security challenges. I don't know about this, y'all. Something just don't seem right. You know, I know the U.S. want to get their hands on the uranium, the gold mines, and other resources that Burkina Faso sits on over there in their country. And there's other West African countries that have resources and they want to somehow infiltrate. They already had the CIA a few months ago infiltrate into Burkina Faso. They got kicked out. So I don't know. Ibrahim Traore, I'm praying for you, brother. I'm always going to speak positive energy towards your way in the country, but please, y'all, please, this is not sitting right with me. But let me know what you think about this. Do you like this? Or do you, this is not feeling it, y'all. Y'all not feeling this or what? Am I tripping?
I was even so surprised to see the American government in the Burkina Faso, in Sahel region, because this is something that we never expected. So I don't know what was happening. And now today we have we have seen the American officials, governments coming to Burkina Faso to apologize. What are they apologizing for? Because first of all, we have to know that the America was not the colonizer to the Burkina Faso or any West African countries, but France was. And France has tried to fight against this Sahel region to make sure that they bring back their dominance. They come back to control this region, but they have failed. Now America has come in. America has come in, and what's happening is something that we are so afraid of as Africans who are truly believing that Africa needed to need a liberation. This is so surprising to Africans who believe that Africa need to be united. This is so surprising to any African who believes in African leaders like Traore, because they're the people who are trying to give the direction, who are trying to give hope to Africa. They're the people who are trying to give us the way forward on how to fight to make sure that we liberate the African continent. So I saw Ibrahim Traore signing deals and contracts with American country or American government, and that this has just happened few weeks ago. And now what's happened today is something that people are now again coming out with different reactions, asking questions. What is happening? Because we never expected to see Ibrahim Traore engaging or doing anything with the foreign countries like America, France, or Britain, or any country from the diaspora. So this is something that today the people of Africa are worried of, because we all know today, when you hear anyone or any place, the name of Ibrahim Traore, the captain of Burkina Faso, is being mentioned, you know that something is happening. Because since this man came to power, we have seen how he has been faced many challenges, many assassination attempts, many threats from the African countries, from the African neighboring countries, from the African leaders, from the foreign powers, because they are only targeting him to take him down. So when we see any foreign power coming in, trying to pretend like they're coming to sign agreements for partnership and anything, we feel like this is just a betrayal, this is just a trap. Because there's no way an enemy can just pretend and change in a minute and become a friend, trying to seek for the partnership that you have been denying them. Traore has been denying the access of any foreign influence to his country. So at this time, we are so afraid. How can he just allow them to come in just like that? So they're apologizing. But why are they apologizing? And what are they apologizing for? This is the question. And this is the time that each and every African youth need to wake up, to stand up, because this is the only time we can make this liberation to happen, but not any other time. Because we know clearly that since the time Africa got its independence, Africa was never independent. Africa was never independent. That's why today we are still running under the foreign democracies, under the foreign policies. But African continents has now things like their own policies or their own democracies. That's why each and every time we are having things like election in Africa, people are dying. Countries are facing crisis. People are demonstrating because the leaders that we are having are not the leaders of who are the people's choice, but we're having the leaders who are the puppets being installed by foreign power so that they can get access through them. So when you find any African leader who is doing things according to the people's will, who is a friend of the African people, he automatically becomes an enemy to the foreign powers because he is limiting them not to come to access to African power, to African resources, to African richness, and not to make African people to believe in foreign powers. That's why people like Ibrahim Traore are being seen as a threat to the foreign powers, because they're waking up, standing up boldly to challenge the white system. And the white system was not made to face challenges or to face challenging with African countries, because they believed and they shaped African continent to only bow, seek for validation, and wait for permission from Paris and from Washington. So when we see any foreign leader coming to Africa and trying to pretend like he's coming to build a new relationship or strengthen the new partnership, this is just a game. This is just a trap. And you have seen this happening with Emmanuel Macron and EU Parliament leader Many times, they've been coming here in Africa to ask African countries for the new partnership, trying to explain themselves as how they want to partner with Africa. And the partnership is not all about military installation, military base installation. It's not all about exploitation. It's not all about neocolonization, but it's about development. It's about building and benefiting from each party. But we know clearly that these people have been in Africa over 500 years ago, but they have did nothing to the African continent, where we can wake up today and say that we are so grateful to have these people in our continent because this is what they did. But all they had to do was about killing, stealing, and looting of African resources, African cultures, African artifacts. That's why today they are in that position. They are owning that titles as the superior people because of what they did to the African continent.
We're not only interested in extracting resources. We want to partner with you to create local value chains, to create good jobs here in Africa. We want to share European technology with you. We want to invest in skills for local workers. This is crucial for the young people, because the stronger you are as suppliers, the more Europe will diversify supply chains towards Africa, and the more we both will de-risk our economies. It's a clear win-win. The benefits of expanding Africa's clean energy sector would be massive. By speeding up the transition to solar and wind power, energy sector jobs in Africa could double in a few years. And Africa could produce enough clean energy not only to power up your continent, but also to export abroad.
That was just my views. That was my commentary. I do really need your views in the comment section so I can know what's happening and what do you think about this. May be blessed, and thank you for tuning in this channel, The Black History, where we uncover the truth and where we uncover the untold stories. May be blessed and peace out.